I'm Shannon.
And I'm Holly, and this is a Girls Gone Curious podcast, where we talk about things that make us curious. So, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and relax because your show is loading. Today is a special episode because we just hit our 100th episode.
Woo woo!
So like every 25 episodes, we do a special, and today it is no different. For this one, we made a list of 5 to 6 different topics of what we could do and had a group of people vote. And we'll just say that there was one topic that outvoted the rest. Meaning pretty much this is what everyone voted for. So, without further ado, this episode is going to be the mystery on the Appalachian Mountains. And we do apologize if we say that wrong.
That is also going to be talked about.
Yeah.
Honestly, how the fuck are we supposed to say it? Is it Appalachian, Appalachia? Our experience and our research is it's both.
Yeah.
And that Appalachian describes the mountains and Appalachia is the area.
The region.
The region, yes, thank you.
And the Appalachian covers the people, the culture, all of the above.
Yeah.
The skinwalkers.
No, we're not talking about skinwalkers today. That's a different episode.
That's never gonna happen. Oh, fuck.
Oh my gosh.
And also, I think they say it different too in certain states. They say it different too. Yeah. But this is how we're going to say it, and we apologize if that's not right.
Right. So obviously, when we start talking about something, we're going to start with the history, because that makes sense. The beginning of the Appalachian Mountain Range started 1.1 billion years ago, when the continents of Laurentia and Amazonia collided. I have no idea. Probably got those wrong, too.
It's fine.
This created the supercontinent of Rodinia. The Appalachian Mountains that we know today didn't actually form until 480 million years ago. The term Appalachian refers to several different regions and mountain systems. It runs from the island of Newfoundland, Canada, to southwestward to central Alabama in the U.S. It stretches anywhere from 2,050 to 2,400 miles long. The mountain range covers 15 states in the U.S., which I'm very bad at geography, and I had no idea.
I looked it up. That's how I got it. All this information, I didn't know anything.
This includes Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia.
That's a lot of fucking states.
That is. Like I said, I had no idea. Like, I knew it was... Like, I knew for sure Kentucky and Tennessee and Georgia, because we've driven through. But I didn't know it was, like, all the way north. Okay, I was really bad with geography.
Also, the highest peak of the Appalachian is Mountain Mitchell, which is 6,684 feet high.
Wow. Has anyone tried to climb it?
I'm assuming. I didn't quite look that up.
So as many know, there is a lot of missing people that have disappeared. No trace whatsoever. Maybe not the first, but possibly the most well-known incident of a missing person was Dennis Martin. Dennis was born June 20th, 1962, in Knoxville, Tennessee. Camping on Father's Day weekend became a tradition for the guys of the family. Dennis's dad, William, his grandpa Clyde, and his older brother Doug decided to spend the weekend hiking and camping in the Appalachian Mountains. On June 13th, they would find a spot past Cades Cove. The Martins the next day would hike up to Spence Field. Spence Field was a 200-acre meadow where both the Anthony and Eagle Creek meet the Appalachian Trail. During this time, the Martins would meet another family of Martins. They are not mentioned as family, just a coincidence.
That's weird.
Yeah, so the Martins that were like the family of guys, they were from Tennessee, and the others, I believe, were from Georgia. So it was just a really weird
That's
coincidence.
so weird.
Yeah. After setting up camp around 4:30 p.m., the kids would play along the tree line while the adults sat and talked and watched the kids play. The kids would decide to play a prank on the adults by sneaking up on them and scaring them. The kids would decide to kind of hide in the trees and brush and walk around to where the adults were and jump out to scare them. The plan worked well, and the kids were happy that they succeeded. William noticed that Dennis wasn't with the other kids. He called out for him, no answer. Grandpa Clyde would also begin calling for Dennis, no answer. The two would walk around to try to find Dennis. He was nowhere to be found. So kind of like a side note on this, it's mentioned in one of the sources that Dennis was actually wearing like a very bright red shirt, and he was very easily spotted. So the kids were like, you got to kind of go in a little bit farther because you're going to be spotted. Like all of us are kind of wearing neutral colors or whatever, but so you got to kind of go in a little bit. But his dad said that he could still see him, and then it was just like a split second and he was gone. I don't know if for sure it was like he was wearing a red shirt. That's just what one of the sources said.
Okay.
A really bad storm was making its way through the mountains, so Grandpa Clyde walked the 7 or 9 miles to the nearest park ranger station to report Dennis missing. Around this same time Dennis was being reported missing, a fellow camper, Harold Key, was sitting down eating dinner with his family at their site. They heard a sickening scream. Not believed to be animal, and it was the type of scream that if you heard it, your heart might start racing and goosebumps would erupt over your skin. Harold looked towards the tree line and noticed a man walking through. The man was tall, unkempt, and was carrying something on his shoulder. And in unkempt just meant that...
like hairy.
Yeah, very hairy, dirty. Clothes were torn and kind of looked scary just because of... Yeah. He couldn't tell what it was, but he was certain he was carrying something over his shoulder. When the man spotted people looking at him, he took off into the woods. And this was only like a couple hours after Dennis went missing. So it's possible that this individual would be a person of interest.
Yeah. Or thing.
Yeah, or thing. The search for Dennis would continue. 1,400 volunteers would cover 56 square miles in 16 days. It is believed to be the biggest search party for that park. The FBI and the Green Berets were also called in to help. With all of the help and the storm that came through, it is believed that any evidence of Dennis was gone now. So unfortunately, you have 1,400 volunteers that include police with trained canines. The Green Berets came in because they just got back from, not just got back, but they had served time overseas, and they came back and they were very well trained for wilderness, yes. And so with all these people helping, which is wonderful, but they believe that the combination of over 1,400 people disturbing the ground and the air, the trees and everything, there could have been hair. I mean, there could have been
tracks covered.
Yeah, and then the big storm that happened the night Dennis went missing, they believe that also washed away any evidence,
any sign of Dennis.
Yeah. So one of the volunteers did find child-sized footprints by Eagle Creek. One foot was barefoot, and one foot had an Oxford shoe on it. The print. The shoe was a 2.5. That is the shoe size his dad said Dennis wore. Investigators, for whatever reason, deemed this wasn't Dennis. They believed that it was too far from their campground and that the prints didn't match up to how a lost child would be walking.
No.
But see, the one thing I was thinking too is they went camping. Like, this was a tradition. They went camping, they went hiking. Not that he knew exactly where he was going or anything like that, but if he knew, like, to find a stream or, I don't know. Or
what if someone did pick him up and then brought him to that area and set him down?
Yeah.
That's a little infuriating because, like, you're not factoring in all of these possible... You're just saying, oh, that's not his.
And with the storm that came the night before, and then for them to find, maybe he was able... let's say he was wandering by himself and it wasn't some
person
person
thing.
that took him or
Yeah.
thing that took him, and he was wandering by himself and he made it to the river
Yeah.
or the creek, I'm sorry. And it's possible that he lost a shoe. I mean, he was going through all this area that he's never probably trekked through before because it wasn't on the trail.
There's branches, stems, anything that could hook on his foot and take his shoe off, and he could possibly fall and then just like keep moving.
Yeah. And it was just dismissed. Like, oh no, that's not possible, because if it was Dennis, it doesn't follow the suit of a lost child, like the pattern of like kind of going all around, sporadic, not.
That's not how that fucking works.
Yeah.
It's like not every missing child's gonna do this specific thing in this pattern. They're all different.
Yeah. As we have noticed in pretty much any case that has to do with a child and they miss one thing.
So, I mean, even if they say, oh, it's not Dennis, we don't believe it's Dennis, they should still set up a search party around that area.
Then who is this kid? Is there another kid missing? Is there a whole family missing? And this kid is... like,
still search the fucking area.
Yeah. So William would offer a $5,000 reward for any information regarding his son. If interested, that would be over $45,000 today. No one came forward. That is until 1985. So in 1985, a hunter claimed to have come across some childlike skeletal remains. He told officials where to look, but they found nothing. The problem with this is, when the hunter found the remains, it was only a few years after Dennis went missing. And the hunter didn't want to say anything because he was hunting illegally. So he kept this information to himself until, I guess, it ate away at him, and then he decided to report it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so...
now those remains could be pretty much gone.
Yeah, no remains were found. And so 69 to 85, that's a long time to fucking wait.
Yeah, 16 years. What the fuck?
Yeah. So by the time the officials were notified, of course, all those years had went by. With the changing of all the seasons and the area, there was no trace of anyone being in that spot.
Yeah, plus animals, wilderness.
Yeah, and if, they took off with the bones, or the bones were put in, got washed into the river and carried down. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios. That spot, however, was a short distance away from the location of the child's footprints that the individual had reported.
Of fucking course. Yeah.
There was an update that was in 2025, and I was hoping that it would have been that they would have found him, but it was just all of the logs and from the park rangers, the FBI logs, all of that was released of what they did. And of course, they're under scrutiny because why didn't they follow up on the child footprints? Why weren't the dogs brought in sooner? The dogs should have been brought in as soon as they started searching. The dogs should have been brought in. So they're literally under scrutiny for why these steps weren't taken.
Yeah, why didn't the shit get done?
Yeah. The next person, the next individuals that we're going to talk about, there has been several missing people that have.
And you can probably go on and on.
Yeah. Trenny Lynn Gibson was reported missing on October 8th of 1976. Trenny was on a field trip with her classmates from Bearden High School. The students were hiking by Andrews Bald and Klingman's Dome. No one remembers seeing her after 3 p.m. that day, and she was only 16.
Oh, damn.
When she went missing. Thelma Pauline Melton was taking a small vacation up from her home in Jacksonville, Florida. She had hiked this trail many, many times before, and it appeared that she was showing her two friends the area. On September 25th, 1981, Thelma would walk a little ahead of her friends and disappear completely. They never saw her again. No one has seen her since.
I heard that a lot, and that these people will be just hiking with someone, and they'll, go behind a tree, they'll, walk a little bit ahead or a little bit behind, and next thing you know, they just disappear.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And it's there's, looking at footage of the area, of what's available, you see all the deep ravines, you see the brush is so thick. I mean, there's a reason
Yeah.
why there's trails, because they want you to enjoy it, but also like
Yeah, I mean, there's also cliffs
yeah,
and
you have to stay on the trails.
Yeah.
No matter how experienced of a
hiker.
or survivalist that you are.
It doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
have to be prepared.
But then there's also the aspect of something or someone lurking.
Yeah.
That is
Also true.
Yeah. The next missing person is Christopher Lee Cessna. His family reported him missing on April 27th, 2011. He was from Cary, North Carolina. The family reported that he was talking about taking his own life, and he did have a gun. The police, unfortunately, did find his car abandoned in the area, and his gun was never found. So,
very possible that
he did, unfortunately, unalive himself. Derek Luking was from Louisville, Tennessee, and was reported missing on March 15th, 2012. He did not show up for work, and that's when he was reported as missing. I'm assuming he was always on time, didn't call in, and so it was very odd for him to not show up for work. Police searched for him, and his vehicle was found close to one of the parking areas before heading up into and he, so his vehicle was in there, and in the note, he said, "Please don't look for me."
That's so weird.
Yeah.
So that's another possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but those are just some of the many cases of missing people. Moving on to the next, we're going to talk about the confirmed deaths of individuals who have passed in Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah. And again, this is only a couple of 100.
So there have been many deaths along the Appalachian, at least 168 documented deaths. That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Just think of the amount of undocumented deaths. That could even be so many more, because there's so many people that there's not even record of them being born, let alone passing away.
Yeah. Well, and there's the people who have no one looking for them.
Mm-hmm. True. These deaths range from accidents or falls, medical emergencies, exposures to extreme weather, drownings, and wildlife encounters. That doesn't include any suicides or murders. There's no small age range of the victims. They are anywhere from 20 to 75 years old, along with the 70% of them being male and 30% being female. If you do end up hiking in this mountain range, it is really important that you thoroughly prepare. Making sure you have enough clothes for both hot and cold weather, packing enough food, and to make sure you know how to get water from the streams and or lakes and rivers. Hiking in this mountain range is not for the weak. Even if it's just a day hike, you need to be well prepared for anything to happen. Plan for the worst case scenario, especially the weather. Did they know that storm was rolling in? Because it's not like they had weather alert, like we do now. Their probably only indication was maybe clouds far off in the distance or, something like that. I don't know. Granted, there are some things that you just can't prepare for, like other people or other things.
Yeah.
Ronald Sanchez Jr., an Army veteran, was hiking the Appalachian Trail in May of 2019. He would come across a man named James Lewis Jordan, who attacked and killed him along with injuring the friend that was with Ronald. Jordan would be found not guilty by reason of insanity. What the fuck?
It said that I think it said that he had schizophrenia, and that's why.
So was he hiding in the mountains?
I have no idea. I didn't do a deep dive on these cases, and
we could at a later date.
Yeah, I always do a deep dive on these cases.
Yeah.
But it just says that Ronald and his friend were just camping. They were hiking, and I think they got to a shelter or an area for camping. And then Jordan would just kind of appear and begin talking crazy and pretty much seemed insane, and then he would all of a sudden attack Ronald and injure his friend that was with him.
Wow.
I tried to look up how he died, or how he attacked him, and I couldn't find it. But also, I didn't do like a really deep dive into it.
On August 12, 2011, a group of hikers discovered a body near the Cow Camp Gap shelter, half buried in the ground. This would be 30-year-old Scott Lilly. The last time he was seen or heard from was on July 31st when he was climbing the Priest, which is located southwest of Charlottesville, Virginia.
It's like a mountain peak.
His cause of death was ruled as asphyxia by suffocation. All his personal belongings were gone, and the killer is unknown.
So it's possible that the killer, maybe theft or robbery, but
interesting.
They still haven't found any suspect.
The first known murder on the Appalachian Trail happened in 1974. Joel Polson and Margaret McFadden were hiking on the Appalachian Trail and spent the night at the Low Gap shelter. While there, they ran into a man named Ralph Howard Fox. In the morning, Fox would shoot Joel and kidnap Margaret. Eventually, Fox released Margaret, and then she reported it to the police. It's believed that the motive was theft. Fox was caught and pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. There are multiple more murders and overall deaths that have happened on the Appalachian Trail and the Appalachian in general. If I were to list them all, we'd be here all day, so we can always do a part 2 to this case because I'm sure there's so much more to talk about than just deaths. Agreed.
For sure. For sure. Okay, we are jumping into our first creepy place.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Brushy Mount State Penitentiary. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. I'm doing my best here. Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary is located in the community of Morgan County, Tennessee. It is in the remote section of the Cumberland Plateau and was chosen for its rugged mountain terrain. Making it almost impossible to escape, it was known as the Alcatraz of the mountains. It opened in 1896, and it was from the result of the aftermath of the Coal Creek War. After the Civil War, railroad construction and coal mining would expand and create new jobs. Unfortunately, they weren't very good paying jobs, especially not for the type of condition they had to work in. By the time they paid their rent, debts, and food, they had very little of their wage left. They also said that they pretty much took like loans out in this city to make like stores and basically like food stores, clothing stores, hardware stores, pretty much to like make a town. And then they would go and fucking mine or build a railroad and their wage was gone.
Oh, damn.
So, the coal miners would hold strikes during the cold seasons, when it was in high demand, and usually it would work. Which I'm assuming is like their pay would increase or something like that, or they'd get like better work conditions, maybe. However, that is until the convict lease program came around. Coal mine owners would begin to remove and replace company-employed workers with the convict leasing. This is where prisoners would be leased out to companies, and in return, they just had to house and feed them, making it more cheaper, and basically they could cut corners while still making more money. And you didn't really probably housed and fed them horribly, like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like if they had, let's say, a house, living quarters of like. Typically only like 8 people could stay. They probably had 20 in there.
Yeah. All crammed.
Yeah.
After slavery was abolished, mainly in the southern states, they would create black codes. This caused many African Americans to be arrested and sent to prison. Sometimes they would be sentenced for life for only committing a petty crime. Or something that's not even a crime for white people. Back then. Which this is a whole nother topic that we could get into, but not today.
Yeah.
This would cause an increase in prisoners that they had nowhere to put. At this time, Tennessee and other states didn't have the ability to make and house new convicts in a prison. They also didn't have, like, prisons in general. They didn't have a big prison to put them in. So, what better way to get rid of them than lease them out? Also, it makes them money.
Mm-hmm.
Prisoners would be leased out from 1866 to 1891. This is where the Coal Creek War began in Anderson County, Tennessee. Employed workers were getting mad and frustrated that their jobs would be taken. A group would form and they would begin to attack and burn down prison stockades and mine properties. They would also release hundreds of convicts and guards and then put them on the train that was headed out of town. Which I find fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're not, bitch.
The mining companies and state officials would send them back along with troops for protection. This war lasted until 1893. And as the convicts' lease contracts were expiring, the legislation passed the construction of the state's first maximum security prison. This would be Brushy Mountain. By 1896, the prisoners were building the prison structure with their own hands. They would either work on the on-site rail spur, mining, or on the original wooden structure. At night, they would be shackled to the wooden building. There's also, still today, there's a post where they would put them in, like, pretty much chain them, and that's where they got their punishments.
Oh my God.
There was no death row at this prison, but a lot of deaths still happen. Between the violence and diseases like tuberculosis, typhoid fever, pneumonia, and syphilis, the amounts of death are high. Along with having bad medical care, they would often get beat for underproducing their work. In 1931, the prison held almost 1,000 prisoners. This was about 300 more than its capacity. Prisoners would have to cram into the gymnasium with beds like pretty much right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The solution? Build a new structure. The prisoners would be forced to break sandstone out of the quarry to build the structure. The new prison would be built in a cross form. It would also be 4 stories high, and by 1934, it was surrounded by 18-foot stone walls. The structure did provide a cleaner and safer prison for the prisoners, but that doesn't mean shit. They were still treated horribly.
Yeah, and going to prison for something that wasn't even a crime, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a whole different topic for another day, but that just pisses me off.
In 1951, the prison closed the hole and built the D block. I'm assuming the hole was probably like where they'd get thrown to
like
solitary
or where they get thrown to like sit and sweat their asses off.
Or something like that.
Yeah, or freeze their asses off depending on
weather.
Yeah.
The D block would be where the worst of the worst would be kept. It would keep them isolated from the other inmates. The D block was also built on the old death house. The death house was where they used to pile up the dead bodies until either they were collected by their family or were buried in a pauper's grave. In the 1960s and previous, the sole mission of the prison was mining. It wasn't until 1969 that Brushy Mountain was officially reclassified as a primarily maximum security prison. After this, Brushy became an end-of-the-line prison. It was the last stop for the worst criminals. The mining would finally be put to a stop when the new warden, Lake Russell, put a stop to it. And Lake Russell was a football coach for some. It's like really weird what he was doing previous to like a prison warden. It's so weird. That's
quite the change.
Yeah. It's unknown if he really did it for the prisoners or if it was because the mining was actually making them lose money. So was he really being thoughtful or was he just being a businessman?
Yeah.
The prison would be shut down in 1972. This was because the guards went on strike, demanding security improvements. After some improvements were made, the prison reopened in 1976. 4 years later. It took fucking 4 years.
Wow.
While the prison was shut down, the inmates were moved to a Nashville facility. In 1982, a powder keg ignited, and this incident allowed 7 inmates to hold a group of guards hostage at knife point. After taking their guns, they would find a group of 4 inmates still in their cell, and then they would open fire on these 4. 2 of them would die while the other 2 were able to hide in the corner with their mattresses covering to protect them. The reason for this was because apparently they were rivals of the group.
Oh, I was like, why wouldn't they just, like, break everybody out?
I mean...
But if they're rivals, like...
Yeah. Also in 82, a chapel was built and thousands of inmates got baptized. Some because they hoped that they would be able to get released early by saying that they are changing and becoming a better person. I mean, maybe some actually are, but like,
yeah,
a bunch of others were.
Yeah.
I mean, out of thousands, there's gotta be
hopefully some that, but even still, like, if you take 1,000 inmates and I don't know, there's a good portion of them that are in there because they shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
I'd become pissed and start
probably
committing crimes that would actually mean I would be in there.
Yeah. In 89, a high security annex was built. Brushy Mountain would be open until it closed on June 11, 2009. This was because the maintenance of the prison cost too much, and it had a lot of outdated facilities. All of the remaining 584 inmates still at Brushy would be transferred to Morgan County Correctional Complex. Jim Worthington was the last warden of Brushy. The most known criminal to be held at Brushy would be James Earl Ray, the assassin of Martin Luther King Jr. While there, he tried to escape on June 10, 1977, with 6 others by climbing over a fence. He would only make it just over 8 miles, captured less than 58 hours later. In 81, he was also stabbed 22 times and survived. In 92, he left Brushy and died in the Nashville facility 6 years later. Other known criminals are Brian Low-Tax Looper, which this guy actually changed his middle name to Low-Tax. He was like running for like Senate and a bunch of other stuff, but like turned out he was fraud and got sentenced to prison. And the other one is Paul Dennis Reed, the fast food killer. I believe Reed, he went to a bunch of McDonald's and Baskin Robbins, and he killed and robbed the place. I think he would put them in the freezer and then kill them and then ditch.
Oh my God.
In 2013, a group in the community of Morgan County worked together to reopen Brushy. In 2018, they began tours of the prison. Not only do they do tours, but they also hold concerts and private events like weddings or car shows.
Weddings?
Yeah. Yeah. People have gotten married here.
No, thank you.
It's not in the prison. It's like, I still no, but like, it's like at a like pavilion outside of the prison.
All I keep thinking of is the uninvited guests
That are going
of
to
the
be
spiritual
there.
nature.
Yeah. On the property, they have a distillery where they sell moonshine, vodka, whiskey, and other liqueurs. You can go there and do a alcohol tasting.
I mean, I might need more than a tasting.
Yeah. They also have a restaurant called Warden's Table Restaurant, serving Southern and American staples like barbecues and cheeseburgers. I mean, I looked at their food and it actually looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course, they have a gift shop and a camping ground as well. To stay at the campground, it's $75 for a back spot and $85 for a pull-through spot.
How much is it to... No, go.
It's free if you don't go. The rental area, the Cole House, can be rented from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. for $4,000. They offer the tables, chairs, and initial cleanup. They can hold anywhere from 40 to 200 guests.
Wow.
They have self-guided tours and guided tours. The self-guided tours offers an audio where it's the voices of former inmates, guards, wardens, and more. There is no reservation required, and you can take as much time as you need, as long as you're out before they close. Otherwise, you're locked in there forever. Military or senior costs are $27.90. A regular ticket is $31. A child ticket from 7 years old to 12 years old is $25. And children 6 and under are free. Who the fuck's bringing their kid to a prison?
I'm going to pass. Somebody else go and let me know how it is.
Of course, Brushy also has paranormal tours. Like every fucking place.
I'm a pass.
The flashlight tours are only on Sundays from 9 to 11 p.m. And it costs $40. In this tour, they go over the history and the paranormal events that have happened at the prison. You get an experienced guide to go with you and show you the kitchen, hospital, and floors 3 and 4.
Why not the other floors?
Don't know. I don't think I want to know.
Tell me about the other floors.
There are also group overnight tours. The first package is the public overnight investigation. It costs $150 per person. 8 people minimum and 12 people maximum. It starts at 9 p.m. and a guide shows you around the site, and then you're free to investigate until 4 a.m.
I don't think so.
You can have the guide with you if you want the guide with you, but like still no.
Yeah. No, because that's right during the hatching hour, and we ain't doing that.
Next package, the overnight investigation, is $1,500 and 12 people maximum. This is just a package for pretty much like the first one, but at a cheaper cost.
Okay.
The guide will show you the area at 9 p.m., then you can investigate until 4 a.m. The last package is the standard paranormal investigation. It is $480 and 6 people maximum. A guide will show you around at 10 p.m., then you are free to investigate until 2 a.m. These packages are available Monday to Saturday. You do have to sign a waiver prior, and certain areas are off limit because of safety reasons. Ages 16 and 17 require a parent or guardian, and under this age is not allowed. In these investigations, you have access to A, B, and D block, along with a cafeteria, laundry room, gymnasium, courtyard, auditorium, the hole, and the yard. The lead paranormal investigator for Brushy is Jamie Brock. She has had more than 20 years of experience in the paranormal world. She has gotten evidence with the Ovilus V, which uses the electromagnetic field, temp and vibrations, and so much more. And then it translates it to words on the screen. Like, it'll say fucking, just like words from the dictionary. It can say, like, a name like Sue, or it can say, I don't know, like stairs. It can pretty much say whatever. Also, the REM pod, which detects movement in the electromagnetic field and temp changes, which is just like a round device that has like antenna and like lights, and like if you just put your hand close to it, it'll like beep.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty much, if you're standing like 5 feet away and it beeps, that means that something's near it.
Ah, gotcha.
Also, it detects like temperature change, like if it gets hot or if it gets cold.
Interesting.
Next is the SLS camera, which this one's fucking creepy. It's a screen, well, a camera and a big screen, and it captures figures that the human eye can't see. And like on it is like stick figures.
Ah.
That's so fucking creepy. Also, the mag light, which is just a flashlight that can be turned on and off. You can get these like at Home Depot. Then dowsing rods, which are L-shaped metal rods that you hold in your hand. And I mean, I have a hard time believing this one because people could easily move them out and in. But like, you're supposed to hold them still, and then they'll like move on their own. And usually what they do is like yes or no questions, and like have like, oh, cross the rods if it's a yes, open them if it's a no.
Oh, okay.
But like, I have a hard time believing that one.
Yeah.
Because people can easily just
fake it.
Yeah. And the last one I will mention is multiple voice recorders, where she has captured voices when there's complete silence.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's captured a bunch of other evidence, but like, the list is going to go on forever.
Right. People
who have gone here have been touched, shoved, scratched, and growled at.
My bad.
Are they sure it's not their stomach that's growling?
Right.
Many report hearing and seeing footsteps, apparitions, disembodied voices, and cell doors closing and slamming. They also claim to witness shadow figures in the yard and the D block, claiming to feel like someone is always watching you when you're there.
Because they are.
In the laundry room, they claim to hear frequent men's voice, loud bangs, and voices calling out commands, claiming that the laundry room has a heaviness to it.
So it's very interesting that you mentioned the heaviness, because it unlocked, like, a memory came like flooding in. I know what that feeling is like.
It's just like almost like a dread, like a heavy...
Yeah, it feels like something is literally laying on top of you, but there's nothing there. Well, nothing that you can see with your eyes.
Yeah. It just feels wrong. Like, just like your spidey senses, like, something's not right, something feels...
Yeah, and that just happened to be in a ghost town that we visited.
Oh.
Yeah.
Our next creepy place is the Bell Witch Cave, which I hear is very popular. The Bell Witch Cave is located in Robertson County, Tennessee, near the city of Adams. It is a karst cave, which is just a naturally formed underground cave formed by chemical dissolution. The whole cave is about 490 feet long. The beginning of the Bell Witch would begin in 1804, after the Bell family moved to Robertson County, Tennessee. John, his wife Lucy, and their 9 kids would move from North Carolina to a 320-acre farm in Tennessee near the Red River. For the first 13 years of living there, everything was peaceful and normal. However, everything would begin to change after John witnessed a strange animal in 1817. John claimed that this animal had the body of a dog, 4 legs and 1 tail. But when he got to the head of it, it was like the head of a rabbit. Next came the knocks. In their home, the family would begin to hear knocks, and soon figured out that it would answer to knocks. So whenever they asked a question, the knocks pretty much would answer. I'm thinking maybe like they say like 2 knocks for yes, 1 knock for no, or something like that. But like the thing is, when you start to talk to it and start to acknowledge it, it's going to grow. Eventually, these knocks would turn into voices. These voices would begin to terrorize the Bell family, especially their daughter, Betsy. She would get full-on beatings from this entity that left her unconscious multiple times. It wouldn't take long before the news of this spread, and even today this haunting goes down in history as being one of the most well-documented supernatural events. Even a general and a future president would hear about this. Andrew Jackson visited the Bell home and they claimed he said this: "I had rather face the entire British Army than spend another night with the Bell Witch." Valid.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah.
The Bell family and others would claim that the things that the entity that became known as the Bell Witch said would be predictions of the future. Some say that these events that the entity was claiming would come true. Many would visit the home and stay at the Bell home. Some would believe it, while others would chalk it up to being ventriloquism. I mean, which is possible.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
I think they were claiming that the children were doing it. One of these predictions would be the death of John Bell. The Bell Witch said she was going to take the life of John, and 3 years later, John would die. Apparently, they found a vial next to him with a strange liquid in it. Which, I mean, that could really just be could just be a poison. Someone poisoned him.
Was it Aqua Tofana?
Aqua Tofana. Tennessee would be the only one to rule someone's cause of death supernatural. And that would be John's death.
That's so interesting.
So interesting and crazy. Many who have investigated this area have claimed it could possibly be the spirit of Kate Batts. Kate was a neighbor of the Bells who felt like she was cheated out of the land. The first public tour of the cave was in 1970. Before that, it was still in ownership of the Bell family. In 1993, it was purchased by Chris and Walter Kirby. They would improve it by putting up more lights and put in more pathways. An all-admission ticket includes the tour of the Bell Cave and the cabin. Wednesday through Thursdays, adult tickets are $19. Kids 4 through 12 is $12, and senior or military discount is $17. Friday to Sunday, adult tickets are $23, kids $15, and senior or military is $19. The cave is about a 40-minute tour, and the cabin is about 30 minutes. Also, no one can tour alone. It has to be 2 or more people.
Like, I would go alone anyways.
Yeah. But I mean, you're going into a cave, so it makes sense that you need more than just one person. Of course, there are after dark tours. The lantern tour is only on certain days, and you can just pretty much look at the website and it'll show what days. Mm-hmm. This is a 2-hour long tour of the cabin and extended time in the cave. 9 and under are not allowed. This is $35 per person. Then there is a 3-hour lantern tour that is $50 per person. This one you get a tour of the cave, cabin, the haunted dell, which is a hayride, and the Native American burial grounds.
No, thank you.
You also get your name thrown into a drawing for a free Bell Witch book. For both of these tours, it's a 4-person minimum requirement. I also do want to mention that if it's raining, like if there's really bad weather coming, or even just like regular rain, they will close the day before and day after the storm. Okay.
That's good.
Because of flooding in the cave. Huh. And they do post it to their website if it does get canceled. The public paranormal tours are held by Todd and Leanne Escu of the Black Wolf Paranormal. It's a group, but I think they have like a Facebook page, and you go through them to get the ticket. Like you go to their Facebook page or website to do it. You don't. Gotcha. You don't get it on the Bell Witch Cave website. They have a link there that you can go to. This includes exploring the cave, cabin, the land, and the burial grounds. If needed, you can also rent paranormal equipment. This is for 6 hours, and they also offer light snacks, water, and coffee. You have to be 12 and up, and 18 and under must have a parent or guardian. Private paranormal tours are only 16 and up. 16 and 17-year-olds do need a parent or guardian with them. Package 1 is up to 8 people, 12 max, from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. It is $1,000 and $125 for each additional person. There is also a filming fee. You get the cave, cabin, burial grounds, and the haunted dell. Package number 2, $800, 8 to 12 people max, 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., and you get 2 locations out of the ones that I listed above. There's a filming fee and $125 for any additional people. Package number 3, $700. 8 people from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. You explore the cave, cabin, and property. There is a filming fee. It is also only $150 for just the cabin, and I believe you can add the burial grounds and haunted dell for another $150. Package number 4 is 8 people from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. And you get any one location for $600. And that is all the packages and tickets that they offer. Many people have heard unexplained noises like knocks, whispers, and voices. Some claim that they have seen apparitions like shadowy figures and misty entities. People have been touched, pushed, and scratched. One claims that it scratched them hard enough to make them bleed, and hit them hard enough to leave red marks.
Damn.
Many report cold spots, EMF readings, and equipment malfunctions, emotional disturbances, physical attachments, spiritual disturbances, and unexplained feelings of dread or fear. 2 of the most known paranormal investigators to visit this place is Ghost Adventures and Sam & Kobe. Doesn't that just make you want to go?
No. Kudos to them who do it.
You don't want to be scratched or hit? How about a little shove? How about a little whisper in your ear?
Because I'm going to be shoving and setting shit on fire.
I do want to mention that the cabin, the John Bell cabin, is actually what do you call it? It's not the original, but it's a replica.
Oh, okay.
They have some of like the original stuff to it. I believe the fireplace, and they have like the actual books of the John Bell family, and there's a couple other things that are original, but not the whole cabin is original.
Oh, okay.
But they tried to replicate it the best they could.
What happened to the original?
I do not know.
Oh.
I just looked it up and heard it. They just said that it's not all original. I'm assuming maybe it was in like 1804. So maybe some like wood rotting or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, now on to my personal story, which isn't that exciting. So, in the summer of 2014, I hiked the Appalachian Trail with my dad. In total, we hiked 40 miles of the trail in 5 days. The Appalachian Trail is over 2,000 miles in total. The first day we only hiked 5 miles, and the other 3 days we hiked 10, and then the last day we hiked another 5. The first day was probably the fucking worst. It was all incline, and it was like incline.
Oh, damn.
And, I'll get into it, say it later, but we started in North Carolina and ended up in Tennessee. Along the trail, we stayed in shelters because the place we stayed at wouldn't allow us to pitch tents or hang hammocks. That could be just for safety reasons, that I'm assuming.
Yeah. From animals and spiritual beings.
These shelters weren't really shelters, like they weren't enclosed. It was more of like a wooden structure that covered us and gave us like a long wooden, like there was like bunk bed type situation. It was just like one here, and it was just all wood. Need to say it was not comfortable.
Yeah. I imagine it was not.
Yeah. We had to hang out our food so the bears or any other animals wouldn't go through it. And one of the people that fucking hiked with us, that is no longer my friend that I talk to anymore, she fucking didn't hang all of her wrappers and food and stuff, and luckily nothing happened, but like that seriously pissed off my dad and upset him. Like, you can't fuck around with that stuff.
Yeah.
You need to put up all your food, and even if they're empty, you need to hang up wrappers because the smell is still on them.
Right.
And it was
sorry, that just slid out.
And it was pretty much just so they wouldn't come near where we were sleeping if they smelled the food.
Right. Instead,
they would go to the hanging food sacks that they couldn't reach. The hardest part of the hike, besides the hike itself, was making sure we were on the right trail. As you're walking, you have to keep an eye out for a certain color that your trail is. Also, the signs you would come across were only every 4 to 5 miles, if not more. So it's like really easy to lose your footing or accidentally go the wrong way. And luckily, we never lost our way, and we were on the right trail the whole time. And like, the trail that you're looking out for is literally not even like a foot of like walked.
Oh, I see.
So it's like a tiny line, pretty much, that you have to make sure that you're going. I mean, for the most part, you can tell where the trail is, but like in certain areas, it does get very like, there's a lot of bushes and it gets overgrown because it's the wild. Yeah. Thinking back, I almost think like, did I really do that? Just because of like the danger of it. When you're only 5'1" and you have to climb rocks that are half the size of you, and your klutz on top of that, I'm lucky I never fell or got injured.
Yeah.
And some of the rocks was even, like, up to, like, my chest.
Wow.
You had to climb.
Mm-hmm.
At least that was, for the main part, it was the first day. It was, like, a really steep incline, and the rocks were fucking huge.
Mm.
Like I just said, some of the inclines were crazy, and they were also along cliffs. So one wrong step and you could go over.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
You have on the right side of you, you have a mountain that's like incline. And then to the left of you, it's going straight down. Not straight down, out on a
little bit of an incline, but
diagonal. So you're walking, you gotta make sure you don't step too close to the one side and like a rock get loose and fall over. And I'm just lucky nothing happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, when you gotta fucking shit, it sucks.
I imagine. Where are you gonna go? Especially as you're like on this trail on the first day.
One of the times we had, so there was me, my dad, his two friends, and my friend. So my dad and his friends kind of stood at each end of the trail in case anyone came. And then my friend was next to me, and I kind of like had to walk up the hill a little bit, but like I was still like right there on the trail. Yeah. And I just had to dig a hole and take a shit.
Yeah,
it fucking sucked.
Yeah, I imagine, like.
And at least at like the shelters, they had a building, but like it was pretty much like a wood building that had a door. You went in, and then there was like a hole in the ground, and you just like kind of squat. And but at least like there was a building that like
covered, to protect you a little bit, to cover you. Yeah.
But sometimes you can't hold that shit until you get, especially if you have 10 miles to hike that day.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And you gotta take a shit with your friend looking at you.
Why was she looking at you?
I don't know. I can't remember if she was looking at me, but she was right there, and I'm like, can't you like go count the weeds over there?
Oh, look, a pretty rock. I'm gonna count it.
Yeah. Instead, she was like right there as I'm taking a shit. I'm like, maybe that's why we're not friends anymore. Anyways, nothing really bad happened, spooky-wise. We did have a couple injuries and injury flare-ups. Some of the backpacks broke, and even one of our shoes fell apart. Granted, none of that happened to me, but instead to the others in the group.
It didn't happen to you because you had to shit on the trail.
Yeah.
So you were protected.
I had to shit on the trail. Oh, fuck. So, it was more bad luck than anything. Also, I had my fucking period when I was hiking.
Oh, hell no. That sucks.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. What kind of fucking bullshit is that?
No.
Luckily, my tampons usually last the hike. Sometimes I would have to change them, but like at the shelter where they had like the makeshift bathroom, they did have a disposable place to put your tampons and pads. And stuff. Like you don't just like throw it through the hole. They had like a separate container, and I'm assuming like the rangers or
make a tea out of it later.
Hang it up for some bear bait. Fucking disgusting. Yeah, thank you for that. So it was more bad luck than anything. Also, at this time, I wasn't really into or aware of supernatural stuff. I was like, it wasn't the summer in between. I just got done with middle school and was going into high school. So I was like 12, 13, 14.
Like 14. Almost something. 14. Yeah.
Something like that. Of course, I watched scary movies, but I never experienced or seen any real supernatural events. I mean, technically, I haven't personally experienced any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I watch stuff.
Right.
And I could have just blocked out anything creepy. There could have been something that happened, and I just...
Whatever.
Blocked it out, because, like, I didn't even...
Yeah.
I didn't think ghosts were real back then.
Right.
I was more worried about the zombie apocalypse. Because that's what my dad made me watch, was Walking Dead. I was more worried about a zombie apocalypse happening than fucking Freddy the Ghost scaring me. And honestly, by the time it was night, I was too tired to think of anything except for food and sleep.
Yeah.
So, luckily, nothing happened while on this hike. But when I think back to it, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Just because so much could have happened, especially with all the stuff I know now.
Yeah.
Not just spooky stuff, but the types of people that are out there.
Right.
And luckily, the hikers that we came across were super nice. Mm-hmm. One of my dad's friends tore his, well, at the time we didn't know, but his ACL. Mm-hmm. He tore his ACL. And a thru hiker, because that's what they're called, gave him a knee brace that he had. Just gave it to him and said, "Don't worry about ever giving it back." Which is that's
amazing.
Super nice. And we met a couple of 2 girls that were thru hikers. And thru hikers just mean like they've been hiking for like weeks.
Oh, okay.
And are like pretty much that are like true hikers that spend most of their time hiking.
Yeah.
And my dad ended up giving them food because we had to lighten our pack because we didn't eat as much as we thought we were. I mean, I did because I was always hungry. But
well, you're also on your period, so like and teenager.
Yeah. Everyone else pretty much had elevation sickness.
Oh, right.
From going up so fast.
Yeah.
So at night, sometimes one of the nights they didn't eat at all. Whereas like I ate mac and cheese. Still to this day, I cannot eat Cliff Bars. I had one too many of those on the trips, and I just started getting used to eating instant mashed potatoes again. For a while, I couldn't.
Yeah, I understand
Also, never eat pizza on the fucking trail because it's fucking disgusting. I mean, I'm glad I had it, but like, it was gross.
Not hiking food?
No. My hiking food consists of instant mashed potatoes, Cliff Bars, and like the Kraft where you can just pour hot water in it and mix it. That's what my meals were.
Solid.
Solid. I think I also had like a couple of like candy bars and stuff, but like that got eaten like right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta eat the good stuff first.
Yeah. Just some other creepy places that you can look up or that will possibly be a case in the future for us that are related to the Appalachian.
Right.
Lake Shawnee Amusement Park. I heard there was like a massacre there. It's indigenous land. While the amusement park was open, there was a bunch of deaths. So yeah, that place's definitely fucking haunted.
Yeah, for sure.
Dunleytown, it says there's a lot of like strange occurrences in this town. Noland Creek and Fontana Lake. Another like just weird stuff going on in there. Ghost Town Village. Apparently there was like a ghost town amusement park or something there. Of course, Trans-Alleghenian Lunatic Asylum, which is probably one of the most haunted asylums out there.
Yeah.
Black Hills, which is associated with the Blair Witch legend. The ghost town of Thurmond, I'm assuming, sorry if I butchered that. The Green Brier Ghost, which is a woman who came back to her mother as a ghost and revealed how she died.
Ah.
Also, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium, I believe, is the place where they did a lot of tuberculosis tests.
Mm-hmm.
And the Driscoll Hotel, which will be added to our list probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's just a couple. I know there's a shit ton more out there.
It just goes to show that we could literally probably do 4 or 5 parts.
Yeah,
to this,
part 2, part 3, part 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus all of the stories out there.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of creepy places and my personal experience. Now I think we're going to move into some creepy stories, experiences, and legends.
Yeah. So the first creepy story is the Blood Vampire of 1954 in Bradenboro. So something or someone terrorized the area for 13 days in January of 1954. Dead animals aren't that uncommon to see necessarily in the woods. However, finding animals in the manner these next accounts recall is something to be remembered. One individual reported that their 2 dogs were killed by a beast of some sort. Johnny Vow, the owner, stated that the dogs put up a good fight due to all of the blood that was all over the porch. One dog was killed at 11:30 and the other at 1:30. The dogs would be found within the next couple of days, and it was said that one of the dogs' head was torn off, the body was crushed, and the fur was wet like it had been digested.
What the fuck?
The second dog's lower jaw was completely missing. The chief police officer brought his highly trained dogs, and these are the type of dogs that smell anything. So, like, they're trained to smell. Like, their smell is, like, superb.
Mm-hmm.
But the chief police officer brought his highly trained dogs, and they wouldn't follow the trail. They began whimpering as well. Like, they wouldn't go anywhere near it.
Oh, that's suspicious.
Yeah. The ideas that the sheriff believed had happened to the dogs were actually confirmed with the autopsies. The dogs were not eaten, but their blood had been drained. So it was their skulls were either part of it was missing, their lips were split open the one dog if they had any part of their jaw left, but their bottom lip was always split open. Another neighbor found that their pet rabbit had been completely decapitated, like clean, no serrated edges, anything like that, just clean.
What
straight
the
across.
fuck?
Yeah. A goat was found by a local by the name of Tater Shaw. He said that the skull of the goat was completely crushed. The paw prints next to the skull, he said, were ginormous. Like, they were bigger than his hands.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Miss C.E. Kinlaw was just hanging laundry on her porch. This was like after dusk. It was starting to get dark, or it was dark, when she noticed something lurking in the tree line. The creature began making its way towards her, and she ran inside and slammed the door. Her husband went outside with his shotgun, but nothing was there except for the ginormous paw prints. So this is the first time that there was ever any report of the creature actually making its way towards a human. All of the encounters that anybody has reported before was all involving animals. She described it as a cat-like creature with piercing eyes, and she felt like she was being hunted. From this day on, women began staying inside after sunset. Bet your ass I would be.
Yeah.
Guys who didn't own a gun, they definitely did now.
Who the fuck lives in the apps and
doesn't have a gun of some sort, or even a gun for, multiple guns, I guess.
Yeah.
Hunters from all over came to get rid of this beast. One of the hunters, S.W. Garrett, was a professional hunter. He tracked the creature and stated that the screams it made were something like a panther, but he still had never heard anything like it before. Many described this creature as over 4 foot long, bushy like a bear or panther, 1-inch long claws, and large paws that spanned over a foot in length. The screams it made were something you wouldn't want to hear. The screams were described as being similar to someone literally getting their back stabbed with a knife and it twisting. Very high-pitched and eerie.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Traps had been set for this creature, and on January 13th, Luther Davis found a bobcat in one of his traps. He killed it and took it to town, claiming he killed the creature. Now, bobcats can get big, but I'm not sure if they can get that big. And the creature was standing on its hind legs, like walking towards her. I don't think they do that. All I think it was like Scooby-Doo.
Ruh-roh, Raggy. It says only some males can reach up to 49 to 51 pounds.
Okay, and it
So
ranges
that's not-
from they said that it's possible. Some of the accounts said it was on a light end 80 pounds, on heavy like 150 pounds. So I definitely don't think that was...
Yeah, and it says they're from head to tail. They usually range only 30 to 50 inches long.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's no way.
No.
And that's like the males.
Yeah. So Luther Davis found the bobcat, and he was like, I killed it. The creature's dead. And the mayor of the town, Mayor Fussell, was so excited. He had the bobcat tied to the flagpole with a sign that said, "This is the beast of Bradenboro."
What the fuck?
Yeah. From then on, though, the killings stopped.
Apparently.
Yeah. And so the hunters went home, and so did the news. Like, the reporters were gone. All the hunters were gone. Some don't believe that was the creature. Some believe the creature just went into hiding or moved on. Regardless, there is an annual celebration dedicated to this creature known as the Beast Fest.
Of course. Or what if this was actually a serial killer?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what I was kind of wondering.
He or she was practicing on animals, and maybe they dressed up like an animal to
throw people off,
and maybe dressing like an animal to stalk his first victim of a woman hanging her laundry.
Yeah. That's kind of like actually what I was thinking when... Yeah. Honestly.
I was like, especially with the straight cut and... Yeah. Suspicious. And the reason why they don't see the creature anymore is because serial killer was now moving on to humans.
Yeah. Moved out of the Appalachian Mountains to work on humans.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Creepy.
Or maybe he was the one responsible for the human deaths that happened.
Yeah. What the fuck? Or the missing children. Anything, really. Yeah. So our next story or experience is a Reddit ask. In this ask, they said, "Are the Appalachian Mountains really as scary as some people say they are?" We have 2 stories, so this one is number 1. I'm a paranormal enthusiast who has spent a lot of time on the Appalachian Trail, including a through hike, and I think the reputation is getting overblown by TikTok. I have had experience there and in other places, but nearly all were very benign. One was scary as fuck, but I have no explanation for it. I'll cover it towards the end. The Appalachians are very old, and it's hard to describe, but they often feel very old. It is different feeling from the Rocky Mountains, and the very few remaining strands of old growth forest in places that were too hard to log have a very serene, tranquil feeling. It's wonderful. I guess that's one way to describe it. One thing a lot of people miss is that you cover a lot of Civil War history on that hike and some legendary battles between tribes of Native Americans around the Blood Mountain area. Up towards Harper's Ferry, you are even walking through old Civil War trenches, and it's there that a number of hikers, myself included, see or think they see ghosts. I'm pretty certain I did in a Civil War era clothing. There were a few other incidents, but nothing scary until Pennsylvania, unless you count the very real bear I smacked in a half-asleep state in my hammock. He or she booped me through my hammock. In my 3/4 asleep state, I smacked the snout. The bear ran off. I sat awake for the rest of the night thinking, oh my fucking god, I smacked a bear. Oh my god. The bear was just wanting...
Yeah, was just wanting cuddles.
Yeah, boop. He's probably like, what the fuck is this thing hanging?
Right. Like, damn, I just wanted a pet on the head, not fucking punched.
In Pennsylvania, I was camping solo. Cowboy camping. No shelter, weather was nice. No reason to unpack it. And something woke me up, and I was absolutely terrified. I didn't see anything, hear anything, but kind of weird, extremely faint, high-pitched whine, and I couldn't put a direction to it. No animal noises either. There was a very oppressive feeling, heavy air. I decided to get the fuck out by headlamp, found a blaze, and scooted up the trail. Feeling went away after about half a mile. It's happened to me one other time, and that was locally. So I think there are some genuine places where paranormal activity happens along the trail. But even within the dedicated hiking community, people who are out there a lot, nothing like the stories I've heard. Feral people, dogmen, that kind of stuff. I do think I can explain one story that may or may not be circulation. Get ready to laugh. Us, a group of very hungry, you are always hungry, Appalachian Trail through hikers at Mountain Rogers IIRC shelter, which has a phone and nearby pizza place that will deliver to the shelter, or at least it used to. Most of us had gotten soaked in the rain earlier and were drying out. It was dark with decent thunderstorms going on, perfect for spooky stuff. And we'd pull some money for pizza and beer. They would deliver beer too, very unofficially and illegally, and called in a pretty big order. And we waited. Then we saw headlights pull into the parking lot. We pulled on some rain gear. Most of us had stripped down to the minimum. Wet, cold hikers are not the most modest group in the world, even in mixed company. Exited the shelter and started heading out to the car, stiff legs from hauling a pack all day and being cold and wet. Probably some groaning and grumbling going on. The driver of the minivan flipped his or her shit. High beams came on, and his tires were spinning in reverse. Then he kind of just sat there for a second as he shifted into drive, and his wheels just spun on the pavement before he fishtailed out of the parking lot, engine whining its loudest. We all kind of like, what the fuck? Then the real pizza guy showed up. The one used to seeing hikers in rain gear walking out of the shelter like a bunch of groaning zombies in the middle of the night. He even said zombies as a comment on us. Interesting.
So who the fuck was the first person?
Yeah, who the fuck was the first person, and how the fuck do you explain that?
Yeah. Interesting.
Was it like a serial killer?
Yeah.
Or like a... Or is it just like a regular person going to like to that shelter and then they see a
yeah, and they're like, on second thought.
On second thought.
Bye, bitches.
Yeah. So this is story number 2. To the Reddit ask of, is the Appalachians really as scary as they say it is? Yes and no. I live in the heart of most Appalachian areas that still has cell phone service. I've been here my whole life. I don't think there are any Mothmen or Skinwalkers or Bigfoot. I do think there are regular bucks who will gore you, coyotes that will eat your pets, skunks that will skunk, and raccoons that will bite the shit out of you. There are also comically evil, ignorant people, though they are few and far between if you stay out of the backwoods. What the fuck's in the backwoods?
Yeah.
Where's the backwoods?
Yeah. That's where all the other stuff is.
There's also meth and crackheads crawling in our cities. And finally, there's a lot of predatory religious BS, especially towards little girls and usually by traveling preachers. Never trust a traveling preacher in Appalachia. There's usually a damn good reason his original community doesn't want him back, and they will absolutely lie about it.
I mean, why can't you just take him to the woods and let him
Pow!
be? I mean, there's all kinds of things that could accidentally happen.
Yeah. My finger accidentally pulled. No, not saying anything. Okay. P.S. There's also just a lot of inner family sexual abuse that no one wants to talk about or handle around here. The same people who want to drag the out and out record having pedos behind their trucks are more often than not diddling with their own kids in private around my area. It's a real problem, actually. So, scary for the real world reasons. These mountains are old and tired. They don't have the energy to harbor such paranormal actions anymore. Not really. It's just a fun, mysterious air that a lot of people like to put on in a region with nothing else really going on. I believe that to a point. I believe there's spooky
still stuff
and
going
then
on.
I believe there's real world stuff going on.
Oh, absolutely. The real world stuff is something that we can talk about in a future.
A part 2 in the future.
Yeah, but that is definitely going on. But I also believe that there is something paranormal for sure going on.
There's something going on for sure.
The Appalachian Mountains being scary for real world reasons is valid, as is the paranormal part. The law of the land basically is, no matter which region you go to, is a complete set of laws that are within a country or jurisdiction. Everyone is bound to this. With that information in mind, there are 3 rules to follow, no matter where you go through the Appalachian Mountains. It is imperative for your safety that you follow these.
Unless you want to get haunted up your ass, go right ahead. Yeah. Or die,
Right. I mean, whichever.
If you're looking for that,
right.
Go
if you're
right
looking
ahead.
for that, then don't follow these rules. But if you want to enjoy your travels, and if you're going to go there, these are the rules you have to follow. Rule number 1, never wander from marked trails. The wilderness can be confusing and hazardous. You can easily get lost and never be found. Whether you're dragged into the woods or you take a misstep, just stay on the trails.
I mean, how can you stay on the trail if you're getting dragged off the trail?
I mean, that's true. Well, if you step off the trail and you're dragged, I told you to stay on the trail. Rule number 2, avoid the woods from dusk to dawn, period. No exceptions. This rule is based on hundreds of years of wisdom and supernatural beliefs. The hatching hour is believed to be the time when spirits emerge, so stay out of the woods during that time.
I was in there during those times.
But you were in a shelter during those times. One such area that is strong with hatching hour events is Dark Hollow in West Virginia and Brown Mountain in North Carolina. So many unexplained events that include paranormal sightings and experiences. There are several testimonies that explain the appearance of random lights in the Brown Mountains. Nobody can explain them, they're just there. Many believe it is a supernatural occurrence. Rule number 3, never, ever, ever, ever answer unseen voices calling your name. This rule has been passed down through generations and should be followed at all times for your own safety. Some believe that the voices are lost souls that are trapped in the mountains, spirits wanting to play games with the living. The most common occurrences where this seems to take place is the Roan Mountains in North Carolina and the Cheat Mountains in West Virginia. But just remember that the voices can be heard anywhere, so don't answer them or look in the direction you hear your name being called from. These rules are the realities of all of the people that live in this area. Many traditions are done by word of mouth, not written down. So a quote from a park ranger is, "Respecting the land and its history is crucial for preserving the beauty and mystery of Appalachia." End quote.
Also, don't fucking whistle.
Yes. And if you hear whistling, no, you didn't. Get the fuck inside.
Yeah. I mean, if you have somewhere to get inside.
Right.
Pretty much, you hear anything, don't answer back.
Right.
Just ignore it.
Yes. And we have so many stories on those, but those are for another time.
Yes. We will probably most definitely do a part 2 to this. Just we don't know when exactly. Yeah. We don't know if we'll save it for another special episode or if we're just going to throw it in somewhere. Right. When we get tired of our other cases and need a break from that.
Yeah. So we go to paranormal.
Yay! Yay! And I'll just say our upcoming categories are going to be heavy.
Yeah, very heavy.
But it's okay.
It's okay. We're going to get through it, and it's usually how it goes. These categories always seem to line up, or topics seem to line up back to back.
Yeah. Why? 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the third one's not that bad.
Yeah, the third one. And the fourth one is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, sure. I'm a little excited about the fourth one because it's
a new one. We have done cases that included this before.
Yes. You want to know? Well, you got to stay tuned to find out. So.
Subscribe to everything, please.
Yes. Please subscribe. It would really help us out. We're not trying to badger you with that, but if you do enjoy listening to us, please subscribe. We are mainly on Spotify. We release Spotify episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays. YouTube on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And throughout, we release
on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, on Instagram and TikTok. So we are all on those. Go like, follow, subscribe. Do whatever you need to. Spread the word.
Absolutely.
Please. Thank you. We love you. Okay, I think that's it for today. Yeah. With that is all we have for today. Let us know what you think in the comments. We hope you liked this special, and we hope to do more like this in the future. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram at Girls Gone Curious Podcast. Until next time.